Good afternoon. This is your host, John, of the Research Review. I'm here with another excellent guest today, Megan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your research?
So my name is Megan. I'm a second year architecture student at Kent State. I did research over the summer with Dr. Ree Liu of the Architecture College. Our main focus was on creating jammed structures out of dredged aggregates, and we hope eventually to be able to build a green wall out of these jammed aggregates. So.
Interesting. What are jammed aggregates exactly?
Yeah, so jamming is a process of building that kind of involves taking these aggregates with string and layering the string and the aggregates in a certain way that the tension of the string will kind of hold the aggregates together, kind of also using the friction between the aggregate pieces. And the aggregates are dredged materials from the Maumee River in Toledo that we have kind of broken up and made into smaller pieces in order to have more like surface to have the friction between when we jam them. So.
And then they make up this thing called a green wall. What is a green wall exactly?
So we're going to, our eventual plan for this project is to be able to jam a structure or like a wall, but instead of having the string kind of holding like the tension between the pieces, to have plants grow and have their roots be like the tension between the pieces.
Cool. That's very cool. That's why you call it the green wall.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
It'll be growing.
Yeah.
Like green, like literally.
So what would something like this look like when it's first put into place and then over time as plants start to grow throughout it?
Yeah, so it would probably start like as the jammed materials with either string or netting or something with the plants that can be planted into it. And then once the plants grow and the roots grow, the netting can either be removed if it's like invasive, or if it's made out of natural materials, which it ideally would.
Yeah.
It could just be allowed to stay and kind of biodegrade within the wall. So
now I know you were talking about strings. What kind of natural materials would the strings be made out of?
So in my own like research, on my own over the summer, I did a lot with like cotton, like yarn and twine. But in some of the research that we kind of used as like reference, they used like coconut like fibers or hemp fibers. It could just anything that's natural. So
you can make fibers out of a lot of stuff. I never even realized. I had my roommate. I bring him up almost every episode. He's a great guy. He did fashion research, and I would go into the knit lab and see all of the different types of the spools. That's what they're called, right? Spools of fabric, just like sitting everywhere. And he would be like, "This is made out of this. This is made out of this." And then he was just like telling me about all the different types of fabrics, and like just like all the different applications they could be used for. And it's really a neat thing. So you're how long has this project been going on for?
So over the summer, it was an 8-week long project. We haven't been continuing it in the fall just because I have a lot of other things that I've been doing.
Right.
We might continue it later, to be determined, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, a really cool thing that I like about research is it's been, for me at least, it's been very laid back. Like, it's not like this needs to get done by this time, this needs to get done by this time, and it's the end of the world if this doesn't, go as planned. And so you're kind of on your own schedule in terms of how you want to run your project and do your research and everything. But if you were to continue it, what do you think the next steps would be?
We would probably start like figuring out how to grow, kind of like if the roots would grow around it in a way that we would need. Because we started kind of sampling what grew well in the aggregate material, but we didn't really try to grow it in an actual structure yet.
Yeah.
Probably getting more into that.
Okay. So. How'd you run those samples?
I kind of just had a bunch of different like pots of aggregate in my backyard that I kind of mixed.
Just like at home?
Yeah, just at home. That I mixed in like dirt with to kind of add nutrients into it.
Yeah.
And just literally planted like plants into it to see if they would survive.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So you basically had like a lab in your backyard.
Yeah, basically.
That's sweet. Yeah. Do you plan on doing this again next summer?
Not really sure yet.
If you weren't going to do this project next summer, what do you think you would work on instead?
Probably something in the design like field, either like graphic design or like photography or like creative direction, something kind of related to that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Are you familiar with like photography research at all? So I know there's research in every single field. There was this one. I didn't realize that there was research that went on in the art departments. Like you don't have to be. You don't have to be a STEM student to do research. I think that's a big misconception. And I remember. Were you there during our luncheon, like the
No,
first
I wasn't.
luncheon? No, that's right. You did a remote.
Yeah.
There was one kid, and I'm really glad he asked this question. He was doing research in music, and it had something to do with like the best way to compose a band. I think it was something. It was something really fancy. And he's like, how does this compare? How am I supposed to compete with STEM projects at like through the 3-minute thesis and the research symposium? And the mentors that were up there, they basically said like, you just don't compare yourself because you're in a completely different category. I mean, it's just as important, but it's just conducted in such a completely different process. So like, what would some sort of like research in photography look like, do you think?
Yeah, I would love to do research in photography, honestly.
I would too. That's my camera right there.
Yeah. Maybe something with like film development and figuring that out, because that's a very kind of like old process. I feel like there could probably be a lot to like expand on or like update, or just like different ways of like taking pictures, I guess. Like things to like experiment with like lighting and like settings, and like because like DSLR cameras are kind of outdated, and like the mirrorless are kind of starting to be the new thing. So maybe something like with that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I know. I have a lot of friends who are like really big in the photography and like all the equipment and stuff. I've had that camera since like the beginning of high school, and I was I'm happy with it, so I keep it.
Yeah.
But like, they're all talking about how they're becoming outdated and mirrorless are like the new way. Why do you think that is? Do you know?
Dang, we just talked about this in my photography class. I should know this. I feel like it's just kind of like there's so much going on, I guess, with like the DSLR. The mirrorless kind of simplifies it. Yeah. And makes it more like the colors like more natural, I guess. Okay. If I remember correctly. So. Yeah, no, because as I've tried out my friends and stuff, and it for some reason, like even if it's a bad picture, like it turns out really nice for some reason. And it's like I feel like when I use nicer equipment, I don't need as good of skills. I mean, there's still a lot of skill. Yeah, that's not true, but I just feel like it. Yeah. Have you ever read photo essays? Yeah, I'm about to do one for my photography class. Really? So I'm kind of doing a lot of research about that right now. Yeah. What's like your photo essay on? I haven't picked an actual topic yet. I have a couple different ones that I'm going to go discuss with my professor in the next day or two. Yeah. To like actually pick one. So okay. Not sure yet. Sweet. No, I love photo essays. I think they're really sweet and they're really cool. What's your major again? Well, I said architecture because the project I did was around architecture. Yeah. And this semester it's technically architecture, but starting next semester I'll be in visual communication design. Okay, sweet. So why'd you choose to make that transition, do you think? Architecture, your first year is very design based. They teach you like how to design and like kind of aesthetics. And then in your second year it's much more like applied. I kind of don't like applying it and having to like think about structure and like details and like all that stuff. And so I kind of liked the openness that it was before. So I'm kind of just taking that broad open design and just bringing it to the new major. Right. I guess because VCD is very just broad design. You could do anything with it. And that's what I wanted. Yeah. So. No, that's got to be so cool to stay in like the creative side of your field. This I think you can make like a lot more unique you personally can make a lot more like unique things and like new things when you just focus on like the creative aspect. Yeah, no, for sure. It's interesting, and a lot of people get confused when I say this, but I find research very creative. Yeah. My original concentration I'm a public health major, and my original concentration coming in here was pre-medicine.
And then I started doing research, to boost my application and everything. I started working on a couple projects. And then I found that the research, it kind of gave me a creative outlet, like a creative outlet in academics rather than just focusing on my studies and stuff. Because like with like chemistry and biology, a lot of it's like straight memorization and everything. But I kind of felt like an artist when I was doing research, conducting projects and talking to people and doing interviews and kind of all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely like kind of really fun to apply the research and like the things that I'm seeing other people do and then go do it myself.
Yeah.
Like it was so fun to like be able to kind of create things that like 2 months ago I had never even heard of,
Right. No, it's so cool. There was this one quote that I read. I'm going to see if I can look it up. But they were like, you should have 5 hobbies. Branching off the idea of creativity and just like pure knowledge. There's this one quote, I forget who said it, but it said, you should have 5 hobbies, 1 to make you money, 1 to keep you in shape, 1 to be creative, 1 to build knowledge, and 1 to evolve your mindset. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I don't think I have 5 hobbies.
I don't either.
But a good concept, I guess.
I would like to get to that point eventually, but I don't think I have time for 5 hobbies.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah. One thing though I found interesting in the SURE program is that you can have a second job while doing your research. Yeah. Did you have a second job while you were doing your project?
Yeah, so I worked as a farming intern at Crown Point in Akron.
I didn't have one last year, but I just applied for one at Akron Children's Hospital to do research there because it's like 10 minutes apart or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad at all. Are you gonna work next summer?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna be doing next summer yet. Applied to a couple different jobs, but it's still a while away.
Yeah.
So not sure yet.
What do you think you like? What's like your after you get out of here? What's like your dream job? Would you say?
I would love to work like for like creative direction for probably like an editorial company or something. I love just like photo shoots and direction and stuff like that. That's not entirely realistic. I feel like it's very hard to get into like that industry.
Why do you think?
It's very competitive and it's just so competitive.
Yeah.
Just like anything photography or like editorial related is so difficult.
Yeah.
So
it is. I noticed like with photography and stuff, I just like to keep, it like as a hobby. And I thought about it as a career, but I realized that if I wasn't, like if you're not like the top 5%, you're going to be stuck doing weddings and senior pictures and food photography for restaurants, which that's actually kind of a cool gig because I have a friend who does that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I was doing that, but I would love to kind of work for like a bigger company, like doing like their like photo shoots, I guess.
Yeah, so, like what kind?
Like I don't know. Like in my head, I'm like Vogue or like something like that.
You'd say you'd like to get in like the fashion industry?
Yeah, like magazine photo shoots or like fashion photography, like stuff like that. Again, very unrealistic.
I wouldn't say it's unrealistic. I just say it's
extremely difficult. Yeah. But yeah, anything design or creative related, I would be perfectly happy doing. So.
I always wanted to get into wildlife photography. And that's what I started with the camera for like the first couple of years. And I just started getting a lot more into portraits and stuff just because, I don't know, I felt like I needed to switch up. Yeah. People appreciate the portraits, I think, more because it is of them.
Yeah, I would love to do like concert photography too.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be sweet.
But again, very competitive.
I don't know. I mean, like, you could even do it here. Like,
yeah, I guess I could.
Say when, like, Young Gravy came in. Did you go to Young Gravy?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, you did?
Yeah,
How was it?
It was so fun.
It was?
I know one of his songs. It was great, though.
Which one?
The one TikTok, like, Betty song.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, like his 2 songs that are on TikTok. That's all I knew, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
So.
No, he does like great performances and stuff.
Yeah, it was so fun.
They did an awesome job like securing him and picking him and everything. One of my I'm an RA, and one of my residents, he got he's actually going to be editing this episode later.
Oh,
I think.
sweet.
Yeah. But so big shout out to Alton. He's a journalism. He's in journalism, I think, the major.
Yeah.
And he was in charge of like the story. So he got a backstage pass and like basically got to like, it was like right next to Young Gravy, and got to just enjoy the concert. And then he just wrote an article about it when he got home.
Dang, that's so cool.
I know. But it's the same thing with photographers too. You can get a backstage pass and
you just
hang out and meet the guys or whoever, and then
yeah, if you know people and can figure out how to like get in, then it's good.
I think you just got to be like confident in yourself. You know?
No, for real.
Yeah. Our confidence is a huge key in everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So are you going to go into graduate school?
Not sure yet. Yeah. I don't have to with my new major.
Right.
But I might. Don't know yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, how do you think research has like just improved you as a person, do you think?
I think it's made me a lot more kind of like aware that I can discover and learn all these things. And I can kind of like, I feel more knowledgeable and more kind of able to do research and to like feel more confident in my ability to like learn things, I guess.
Yeah.
And kind of try things that I've never like heard of before. Like my mentor, he was like, this is our idea. And I was like, I've never even heard of that. And then like 8 weeks later, I was like building all these things and like coming up with like ideas and prototypes for our final project.
Yeah.
So like kind of seeing that development and being able to like know that like I did that and I could do it again.
Right. Yeah, it's a huge confidence booster seeing the development, the process of what you made.
Yeah.
And then it would be so cool to see this green wall like actually put into action.
It would be.
I mean, I think that'd be the coolest thing. Your project is actually very popular.
Oh.
Among like the SURE students at least. I heard about this from I heard about your project from Garrett?
No? I don't know Garrett.
Well, he knows you.
What?
And literally 2 other people in the SURE program. They brought up the idea about like some like sustainability wall, and someone said it was concrete to me.
Well, okay, initial when I first met with my mentor, he was like, "What about like permeable like concrete and stuff like that, like bioreceptive concrete and stuff like that?" But we didn't end up doing that. I would love to do that someday in the future, possibly.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like so cool, but. Yeah, that isn't what we ended up doing. So.
Yeah, no, I literally heard about your project from 3 different people.
How did they find out about it?
I don't know. Garrett, he's a computer science chemistry major or something like that.
Where are they finding like my project?
I don't know. I'm just saying you have a popular project.
I mean, it's really cool.
Are you the only one working on it?
Yeah.
You are? Mm-hmm. That is cool.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be like if the wall did eventually get built. The wall. the green wall. I feel like it would work though, like on campus, like really well, like with the architecture building. Yeah. Like they have a green roof. Why not put another wall up there? Match the roof.
Match the roof. What would it look like? Like when it's up? Would it be like just like greenery, just like growing on it?
Yeah, basically. We had a couple different prototypes like rendered of designs of it. It could be a wall, it could be a column. One was an arch. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
So it could literally be anything.
Speaking of the wall, have you heard about the city that they're building in Dubai?
Oh, the really long one. That's
it's called the Wall.
I love it. I love it.
It's literally like the coolest thing. It's going to be like completely all run on like public transportation. I think it's going to be all electric. There's going to be like,
so.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
It makes me think of like those Minecraft ravines that people make into like little cities or something.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, it looks like Unreal. Well, I guess this is a computer animated thing. You've seen it? It looks like so unrealistic from the outside.
Yeah, no, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a tall and narrow strip of a city more than 105 miles long, and it's going to have a 9 million residents. Like each part of the wall is divided off into like little blocks, like each like block of the wall is like a little suburb, I guess. And every single place that you need to like go to, like your school and your groceries and like the gym and everything, is only going to be a 5-minute walk from your residence in each like little block. And then there's public transit that goes back and forth to take you from each different blocks to see your friends and stuff or your family. And there will be no cars or roads. High speed rail will carry people from the end to end of 105 miles long in 20 minutes. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Cool. That's going to be way too cool. So I know you said that you talked a little bit about how the process of doing research has benefited you and everything. Why would you recommend doing research to other undergraduate students?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of like a major, like kind of confidence boost to kind of empower you to know that like you can do that.
Yeah.
And you can kind of really do it about anything. And it kind of, you meet really cool people through it, like everyone else.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're so cool. Like, what? And like this podcast, like I'm on a podcast.
Exactly. This has been so fun having just like meeting so many new people coming in. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, you just learn so much like about yourself and about other people and about like your fields and other fields, and then you come out of it feeling so much more like you've gained these research skills and you know so much more about like your field.
Right.
And it's just so cool.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, I feel so smart.
Yeah, me too.
I was like walking around like I do research.
Yeah.
Like, John, what'd you do for the summer? I was like, I was doing some research. And I think like people get like very impressed by it because they've never done it themselves. I guess like it's hard at sometimes. It's definitely hard, but it's nothing to be like too intimidated about.
Yeah.
I don't think. A lot of undergraduates that I've talked to and like talked to them about research and stuff, they immediately think no because they think they don't think that they're capable of doing it, and they think that it's too hard, and they think that the process is just so intimidating. But it's pretty laid back. Honestly, it's been more laid back doing research than working in a pizza shop. Like honestly, like I'd be legit nervous. Given what I know now, I'd be more nervous to go back to my pizza shop than working on a study at the Cleveland Clinic that studies cancer treatments. Honestly. Yeah,
it's very intimidating. But once you do it, you realize like this is really fun actually, and actually not that hard.
Yeah.
Your mentors are there to help you through everything, and they break it down for you, and it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
So
because the professors that volunteer their time to work with students, they're the ones who like actually want to help you. A lot of professors that students have interacted with in their lectures are more they don't think the same way. They just they don't want to interact with students. They want to focus on their own research. But the professors that volunteer on mentors, they're so helpful.
And they're so passionate about it too.
Definitely. I've said this before, but personally, I've learned a lot more during the process of doing research about my field than I have listening in my classes. Yeah, no, I'm definitely someone, I feel like this is an effect of architecture studios, is that like I need to like do it. Yeah. Like lectures don't really work for me anymore. Right. I need to be able to like build something and like make something. Right. So. I know, I completely agree with you. I moved all of my I have all online classes next semester, so I do not have to sit in any lectures. Yeah, I only have 2 lectures, but I have 3 studios. 3 studios? 3 studios. For what? One's a VCD, and I think 2 are photography, or it's that or flipped. Yeah. 2 VCD and 1 photography, I don't remember. You looking forward to them?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So
yeah. Megan, if you had one more message to share with the world, what would that be?
Don't be afraid to do things even if they scare you. Like, it's fine. You'll get through it and you'll feel a lot more confident and empowered at the end.
Yes. When it's scary, that's when you jump.
For real.
And you're not going to regret it.
No.
At all. Well, Megan, it's been awesome having you on. You're definitely welcome back anytime. You know that. Just shoot me a text, shoot me an email or whatever, and I can make time for you to come back into the studio.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Especially when that wall gets built.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I'll let you know.
Again, this is your host, John, of the Research Review, creating a platform to inspire. Peace out.